Describe.
An alien.
No one has ever seen anyone as tall as he is, but as fluid and as graceful he is out on the floor. I mean, that's 7'4", or 7'5", or 7'3", whatever the case may be. His ability to put the ball on the floor, shoot step-back jumpers out of the post, step-back threes, catch and shoot threes, block shots. He's for sure a generational talent.
In those two games hosted in Las Vegas, Wembanyama averaged 36.5 points, 7.5 rebounds, and 4.5 blocks while shooting 50% from both the field and three-point range. He's like a mix of KD and Giannis, but with Boban Marjanovic's height. I mean, the French prospect was doing it all, from shooting long-distance threes to shooting threes off the dribble, to shooting in the mid-range, to playing in the post, to throwing down thunderous dunks. The list goes on. There was nobody that could stop him, and everyone knew it. He dominated in both outings, and unlike Wilt Chamberlain back in the 1960s, this one was caught on tape. Professional basketball players around the world were tuning in, and they couldn't believe what they were witnessing.
It's incredible, man. Like, I believe in 2045, everybody is going to look like Victor. He has the chance to be one of the best, not in his age or not in Europe, one of the best to ever play this game. Like, we have never seen something like that before. We got to get ready for this kid, you know. He's gonna be really good.
Yeah, he's like the 2K creative player. Like every point guard that wants to be 7 foot, cheat code type vibes.
The truth is, Victor isn't just a talent that could change a franchise. He's a talent that could very well change the league. As of the moment, teams around the league are already appearing to tank in the hopes of landing this generational player. Take a look at the San Antonio Spurs, for example. Last season, they traded away their only all-star in DeJounte Murray for a host of future picks. And then in one of their earlier press conferences this year, head coach Greg Popovich told the media and the world to not expect much from them this season.
Nobody here should go to Vegas with the thought of betting on us to win the championship.
If the Spurs win the #1 overall pick in the 2023 draft, Wembanyama could very well lead them back to becoming perennial championship contenders for decades to come. Other teams that are similarly gonna have the greatest odds of landing the 7'4" Frenchman are the Utah Jazz, who just traded away their 2 stars, the OKC Thunder, who just lost their 2nd overall pick to an injury, and the Houston Rockets, who, although have a list of young talents, might not be much better than they were last season when they were dead last in the league. As the 2023 season starts to conclude, teams that are battling for a play-in tournament position will also have to assess their situation and ask themselves, do we want to go all in only to lose to the #1 seed, or would it be in our best interest to lose a few extra games for a chance to draft a player who could help us be dominant for the foreseeable future? I mean, this is their chance to get a much taller version of Kevin Durant. KD stands at 6'10", and for all intents and purposes, he's been unblockable in one-on-one situations. But Wembanyama is 6 inches taller than Kevin. That's literally the difference between a player like Anthony Edwards standing at 6'4" to KD, and despite the leaping abilities of the young Timberwolves star, we all know that there's no chance he'll be blocking KD shots. If you look at the statistics of Wembanyama in his Euro games, he might not seem like a great shooter like Durant or Curry, but the thing is, his rate of progress and work ethic have really gotten NBA executives excited. In this past year, he's been working alongside Dirk Nowitzki's longtime shooting coach, Holger Geschwender, and the work has clearly been paying off. An anonymous NBA general manager said that Victor will be unguardable if he's knocking down jumpers. And it's true. Because of his stature, who in the league is going to be capable of blocking him? His release point might arguably be the highest we've seen from someone who's a reliable shooter. I mean, look at this play here. This is Victor Wembanyama with the ball. The person guarding him is a 6'10" center, Eric Mika. Look at the difference of height from the contest and the release point. Sheesh, guys. As we can all see here, even if you're a professional big man trying to block or alter a shot, you won't even begin to affect the shooting of Wembanyama. Here's what KD had to say after watching the young phenom play.
The evolution of the game is taking us this far. You know what I'm saying? When you got 7'5" dudes who's able to do everything on court. The league's really in trouble when he comes in. I want to see how it plays out.
Just to illustrate how dominant Wembanyama has been so far, in 2021, at the Under-19 Basketball World Cup, the United States team, which featured future NBA talents such as Chet Holmgren, Jaden Ivey, Patrick Baldwin Jr., and Kenneth Lofton Jr., went up against France, which only had Wembanyama. For this game, Victor went for a game-high 22 points and had a game-high 8 rebounds and a game-high of 8 blocks. While Team USA ultimately won this close game by just 2 points, Wembanyama was a +7 in the plus-minus department and really gave the United States team a good run for their money. This year, Wembanyama had a ton of offers to play in leagues around the world, such as the G League, the NBL in Australia, and a host of European leagues. But in the end, he and his camp decided it was best for him to stay close to home to slowly build up his body in order to have a long NBA career. Currently, Wembanyama is working daily with a weight trainer, a physician, and an orthopedist for good reasons, because up to this day, there have been 26 players in NBA history who have been listed at 7'3" or taller, and out of the small group of players, only 7 of them have had decent careers, and out of those 7, only 2 of them didn't miss significant playing time. Wembanyama's agent, Bouna Nade, who's also the agent for Rudy Gobert, Nicolas Batum, and Evan Fournier, has already told the media that everything has to be built the proper way. This kid is mentally ready to play anywhere, but his body needs to keep being ready because he is one of the longest players we have ever seen move at that scale. NBA people are telling me to shut him down, but we are not going to shut him down. He wants to compete and get better. With Victor, it's basketball first and everything else second. An obvious unique advantage that Wembanyama has over other centers in the NBA is the fact that the average height of a center in the NBA in 2022 is 6'10", whereas he is 7'4". A less obvious unique advantage that he has over other centers in the league is the fact that he was born in 2004. What this means is that he grew up watching modern-day basketball. Instead of watching big men like Shaq dominate with their backs towards the basket, he was watching the silky smooth shooting of Kevin Durant and understood the importance of shooting. Instead of watching slow bigs jog up and down the court, he was watching Giannis sprinting in transition and throwing down ferocious dunks, and understood the importance of movement. What started out on YouTube back in 2020, where a teenager from France was bringing Rudy Gobert to school, has now manifested itself onto the hardwood NBA floors in the States. Anyways, here's something that completely shocked me. So, the other day, I was just browsing around on YouTube where I saw a clip of Wembanyama on the channel of Christopher London, and to be perfectly honest, he's a big creator that I haven't had the pleasure of watching before. In this frame here, he's standing next to Wembanyama, and how tall do you think Christopher is? I wasn't too sure myself, so I typed it into Google and found out that this dude is 6'10". That's the same height as Kevin Durant, Andre Drummond, Jared Allen, and Anthony Davis. For crying out loud, Wembanyama makes NBA giants look like 6'2" guards, and the scary thing is, It's no longer a question of if he gets to the NBA. It's no longer a question of when he gets to the NBA. It's now a question of what are we going to do when he gets to the NBA.